7 signs you need a mental detox. A lot of people think that they are in full control of their lives. They think that as long as they're making the right amount of money, live in the right part of town, or otherwise enjoy the right kind of lifestyle, that they are doing pretty well. In fact, a lot of people fully believe that the life that they're living is the best they could hope for. Of course, this is just part of the picture. The other side involves their daily frustrations, their stress, pressure, and the sense that somehow, some way they feel stuck. How do you square the two? Well, a lot of people think that the latter is the price you pay to enjoy the former. Believe it or not, you can live life to the fullest. I know you've heard that before, but you have to understand that you are giving up a lot to enjoy whatever benefits you're getting. In fact, in the big scheme of things, you probably are giving up way more than you are getting. The return on effort simply is not there. If you want to live up to your fullest potential with a minimal amount of hassle and stress, listen up, it's actually more doable than you think. In fact, you already now know how to do it. It all boils down to practicing mindfulness. I know mindfulness is very popular in the United States, Western Europe, and all points in between. There's a reason for that popularity. It's not just hype. It's not just well-renowned authors hawking their latest mindfulness book. There's a lot more to it than the media spin. The bottom line, if you care to dig deep enough, is that it works. Mindfulness is not mysticism. It is definitely religion. Instead, it works with how your mind already operates. The problem is most people somehow, some way pick up negative mental habits that turn their minds against them. I know that sounds crazy, but that's exactly what's happening. Instead of letting your mind work for you, you pick up all these habits along the way that make your mind work against you. This is why it's really important to understand whether you need a mental detox or not. When you detoxify your mind, you unclench your mental muscles and let go of stuff that ultimately holds you back and drags you down. Here are the 7 signs you need a mental detox. Sign number 1, you feel you're not in control. Do you ever walk into meetings feeling like a deer caught in headlights? It doesn't matter how well prepared you are. It doesn't matter how long it took you to prepare. When the moment of truth comes, you get caught flat-footed. Do you find yourself in a relationship that doesn't seem to be going anywhere? Even though the other person seems like a wonderful person, you just don't feel that this is it. Do you find yourself in a job that you ultimately hate but can't let go? Are you unhappy with how you look or how much you weigh? Well, if you put all these together and try to square it with the fact that you don't really lift a finger to change your situation, welcome to the club. Most people feel that they're not in control, that's why they feel stuck. Let's put it this way, people who don't feel stuck will do something about their situation. Somehow, some way they will break out of that box and go somewhere else. Unfortunately, whatever you're doing produces enough rewards to keep you there. This is not the best situation, and you know it, but you feel that everything else just takes too much effort, so you feel stuck. The more you feel stuck, the less control over your life you think you have. This is not a great feeling to have. Thankfully, there is one tried and proven method that will get you out of any mental box you will ever find yourself in. What if I told you that the moment you blame other people, you hand them power over? Sign number 2, you're always blaming others. What if I told you that the moment you blame other people, you hand them power over your life? I know that sounds like quite a big claim, but it's absolutely true. Think about this for a second. If somebody who you don't control caused a certain problem in your life, what happens next? Well, since they caused the problem, then this means that they will also be the solution to the problem. They have the solution in their hands. This makes all the logical sense in the world. They broke it, they should repair it. No problem. However, here's the problem. You can't control them. It's bad enough trying to change yourself, can you imagine trying to change other people? Even worse, a lot of people blame circumstances of the past, circumstances of their birth, and other things that they can't control for what's going wrong in their lives. If you find yourself always blaming others for whatever is wrong in your life, you might want to stop. You might want to realize what is truly going on. The more you do this, the more powerless you feel and become. Why? You keep handing them the ultimate responsibility for how you're feeling and how or you're coping. I'm sorry to be the one to break this to you, but the only person who can truly fix your life is you. Not your parents, not your abusive past, not your ex-boyfriend or girlfriend, not your mean boss. None of that. It's you. Even if they caused the abuse. Even if they slapped you around, beat you down and crushed you. Even if they humiliated you. You have to understand that you are still responding to what they did. You can control that response. One of the best ways to reassert this control and take ownership over your life again is to learn this simple technique. Sign number 3. You feel like your life is some giant movie. Has this ever happened to you? You remember certain things from the past and you keep rehashing these dramatic events, feeling that there's really nothing you can do about them. Fast forward to today, do you see a lot of things going on in front of you that you are not happy with? However, instead of stepping up and trying to change things or speaking up, you just sit back. It's kind of like a movie. Your life is playing out right in front of you in a big screen. Unfortunately, you feel like you're stuck to your seat and there's really nothing you can do to influence what happens in the screen. Come on, be honest. Is this how you feel about your life? Well, your life is not a movie. It's not some sort of script being acted by other people. These are people you don't know. These are people you can't control. No. Your life is a movie that you wrote, directed, and produced. In fact, you are the main actor of your life's movie. Unfortunately, if you feel like you are just watching your life play out in front of you with absolutely no input on your part, you have abdicated your responsibility. You have simply given up on the fact that you have a big role to play in how your life plays out. Just because you made a mistake in the past or several mistakes doesn't mean that you have to continue making those same mistakes in the future. It also doesn't mean that you should just sit back and take whatever consequences flow from those mistakes. It doesn't matter how bad things were in the past. You can still decide to turn things around today. I know what you're saying. In fact, I know exactly what you're thinking. You're saying that this is easier said than done. You're absolutely right. What makes it difficult is the fact that you do not step up. It's the fact that you automatically feel that you are trapped in your circumstances and there is absolutely nothing you can do to change them. This is a lie, and the first thing that you can choose to do is to say to yourself that my old excuses are lies. I am in control. I decide. I am in power over my life. In the beginning it may seem like you're just making sounds with your mouth. None of it is registering. None of it is sinking in. However, the more you repeat it and the more it makes sense, the more you start to believe. Sooner or later you start acting out on it, and guess what? Your life changes. Stop looking at your life as some giant movie. It isn't. Instead, it is a video game that you control. Every move you make has a consequence. Own that consequence. Direct the outcome of all your actions. Sign number 4. You keep asking what happened. My grandfather used to tell me there are only 2 types of people in this world, the ones who make things happen and the ones who go around asking, what happened? Do you keep asking yourself what happened? Come on, you can be honest now. When you think about your past and there are all sorts of traumatic or painful memories, do you ask yourself that question? When you look at what you're doing and you know that you are capable of so much more but you feel stuck, do you ask yourself that question? When you look at your relationships and you are unhappy in some way or other, do you ask yourself what happened? Finally, when you look at the mirror and you are unhappy with your appearance, your weight or anything else about you, do you ask yourself this question? Well, if you do, welcome to the club. A lot of people ask that question, and this because they have totally given up on their personal power over their lives. I know you probably did not want to hear that. I know that's probably the kind of thing that you least expected to hear, but you need to hear that. You have to understand that everybody falls into the first category described by my grandfather. We are all capable of making things happen. It is a tragedy that only a small fraction of the population actually steps up and does it. Most people would rather take the path of least resistance and do what comes natural or what comes easy. They then have to pick up the pieces and live with what's left over. It gets old. I understand that you're afraid. I understand that you'd rather not put in the work, the time or the effort. Hey, welcome to the club. We're all creatures of comfort and convenience. However, if you want the reality, the rich, fulfilling and happy reality that you've always desired for yourself and your loved ones, you need to take a risk. You need to sacrifice. You need to commit. All these things are uncomfortable to a lot of people. Unfortunately, if you find yourself constantly asking, what happened to me? What happened to my life? What happened to that guy? You've given up on your power to achieve the exact reality you want for yourself. You have taken the shortcut. You have taken the easy path. You have shrunk back from your ultimate responsibility to yourself. I know this is inconvenient. It's definitely uncomfortable on so many levels, but it's also the truth. Thankfully, there is one simple technique that you can start on today that will light a spark in your life that can lead you to a more powerful and direction-driven existence. Subscribe. Like. Share.